Dubai. The name itself sounds like money. It sounds like the future. You fly in over an endless desert, a vast, unforgiving expanse of golden sand. Then, suddenly, it appears. A skyline that looks like a science fiction movie set. It rises from the heat haze like a mirage, a collection of glass and steel and ambition that seems to defy logic. This isn't a city that grew slowly over centuries. It's a city that was willed into existence. It was built with a vision, a powerful, almost aggressive desire to be the biggest, the tallest, the most outrageous. You can feel that energy the moment you step off the plane. It's in the air, thick and humid, mixed with the faint scent of oud and jet fuel. This place is a statement. It's a declaration to the world that anything is possible if you have enough nerve and enough capital. They didn't just build a city here, they built a global hub. A crossroads where East meets West, where ancient traditions sit right next to hypermodernity. You can spend your morning wandering through a dusty, chaotic souk, haggling for spices and perfumes. Then, in the afternoon, you can be skiing on an indoor mountain or swimming with sharks inside the world's largest mall. The contrast is jarring, it's disorienting, and it's utterly fascinating. It's a place that constantly keeps you on your toes, challenging your perceptions of what a city can be. It's easy to be cynical about Dubai, to dismiss it as artificial, a playground for the ultra-rich with no real soul. And sure, you can find plenty of that if you look for it. The 7-star hotels, the fleets of Lamborghinis, the sheer, unadulterated luxury can be overwhelming. But that's only one part of the story. To understand this place, you have to look deeper. You have to get into the back streets, into the cafeterias, where the workers who built this city eat. You have to listen to the stories of the people who came from all over the world to chase a dream, to build a new life in this sandbox of opportunity. This is a city built on an audacious bet. A bet that if you build it, they will come. And they did. They came from India, Pakistan, the Philippines, Europe, and America. They brought their cultures, their food, their languages, and their hopes. Dubai is a city of layers. On the surface, it's all glitz and glamour. But underneath, there's a complex, pulsing heart. It's a story of transformation, of a small fishing and pearling village that exploded into a global metropolis in less than a lifetime. It's a story that's still being written, and it's one you have to see to believe. You can't talk about Dubai without talking about the Burj Khalifa. It's the elephant in the room, only this elephant is a half-mile-tall sphere of glass and steel. You see it from everywhere. It's a constant reference point, a metallic finger pointing straight at the sky. It's an absurd piece of engineering, a monument to sheer, unadulterated hubris, and I mean that in the best way possible. To even conceive of building something this tall, let alone to actually pull it off in the middle of the desert, is a level of ambition that's hard to comprehend. It's more than a building. It's a symbol of Dubai's entire philosophy. It says, "We don't just reach for the stars, we build our own." Going up to the observation deck is a pilgrimage you have to make. The elevator ride alone is an experience, shooting you up 124 floors in about a minute. Your ears pop, and then the doors open and the world falls away beneath you. The view is staggering. On a clear day, you can see the curvature of the earth. The other skyscrapers, which seem so massive from the ground, look like a child's building blocks from up here. The intricate patterns of the highways, the sprawl of the suburbs, the vast, empty desert stretching out to the horizon. It gives you a god's-eye view of this man-made oasis, a true perspective on the scale of what has been accomplished here. But the Burj Khalifa is just the headliner in a city full of architectural superstars. The skyline is a chaotic, beautiful mess of different styles and shapes. You have the Cayenne Tower, the world's tallest twisting building, which looks like a giant strand of DNA. Then there's the sail-shaped Burj Al Arab, the hotel that put Dubai on the luxury map. It sits on its own artificial island, a beacon of opulence. These aren't just functional buildings, they are sculptures. Each one is trying to outdo the next, to be more distinctive, more memorable. It's a competitive, almost aggressive form of architecture that makes for a stunning visual landscape. The secret to building these giants in the sand lies deep underground. The ground here isn't solid rock, it's loose sand and weak sedimentary rock. To support a monster like the Burj Khalifa, engineers had to drill and install 192 concrete piles, each one going down over 164 feet. They created a foundation that relies on the friction of the sand against the piles to hold the building up. It's a brilliant solution to a massive problem. The entire city is an exercise in human ingenuity, a testament to our ability to bend the environment to our will, for better or for worse. It's a concrete jungle in the truest sense of the word. If the skyscrapers defy gravity, the Palm Jumeirah defies the sea itself. Someone, somewhere in a boardroom said, "We need more coastline." A normal person might laugh. In Dubai, they got out their dredging equipment. They decided to build a new coastline in the shape of a palm tree. It's the kind of idea that sounds insane, a flight of fancy. But here it is. A massive artificial archipelago, so large it's visible from space. It's an act of geographical defiance. It's about taking what nature gave you and saying, "Thanks, but I think I can do better." It's pure, uncut Dubai. The scale of the project is mind-boggling. They didn't use concrete or steel to build the islands. They used sand and rock. Over 3 billion cubic feet of sand was dredged from the floor of the Persian Gulf and sprayed into place using GPS technology to get the shape just right. They built a 7-mile-long crescent-shaped breakwater around it to protect the palm from the open sea. It's made of 7 million tons of mountain rock. This wasn't just construction, it was land reclamation on a mythological scale. They literally moved mountains and shifted seabeds to create luxury real estate. Driving onto the palm is a surreal experience. You cross a bridge onto the trunk, and you're in a neighborhood of high-end apartment buildings and shops. Then you can drive out onto one of the 16 fronds, which are lined with multi-million-dollar villas, each with its own private beach. At the very top, on the crescent, sits the colossal Atlantis Hotel, a fantasy resort that looks like it was plucked from a Disney movie. It's a self-contained world of luxury, a perfect bubble for tourists and the wealthy. It's beautiful, it's impressive, and it's profoundly artificial. It's the ultimate gated community. But this ambition comes with questions. What does a project like this do to the marine ecosystem? Shifting that much sand and rock has consequences. It buries coral reefs and changes water currents. The water inside the fronds can become stagnant. The creators of the palm took steps to mitigate this, creating gaps in the breakwater to allow for water circulation and trying to build new artificial reefs. But it's a constant battle. The Palm Jumeirah is a perfect metaphor for Dubai itself. A stunning achievement of human will that exists in a delicate and perhaps precarious balance with the natural world it has so thoroughly reshaped. To really get a feel for Dubai, you have to leave the shimmering towers behind. You have to go to the creek. This saltwater inlet is where it all started. This is the city's historical heart, its original lifeline. For centuries, this was the center of life, a busy waterway filled with dhows, traditional wooden sailing vessels, trading with India, Africa, and the rest of the Gulf. Before the oil, before the skyscrapers, this was Dubai, a humble town of merchants, fishermen, and pearl divers. You can still feel that history here, in the salty air and the creak of the old wooden boats. It's a world away from the air-conditioned malls. On one side of the creek is Dera, and on the other is Bur Dubai. The best way to get between them is on an Abra, a small traditional wooden water taxi. It costs 1 dirham, about 27 cents. You pile in with locals, tourists, and workers, and for a few minutes, you're part of the city's daily rhythm. As you chug across the water, you get a perfect view of the contrast. On one hand, you see the old wind tower houses and minarets of the mosques. On the other, the modern glass buildings of the new city loom in the distance. It's the past and the present, coexisting on the same small stretch of water. Once you're in Dera, you have to dive into the souks. The gold souk is blinding. It's a covered market with window after window overflowing with gold, necklaces, bracelets, rings, entire body armor made of gleaming 22-karat gold. It's an almost comical display of wealth, but it's real. Next door is the spice souk, which is an assault on the senses. Piles of frankincense, saffron, cinnamon, and dried lemons create a heady, intoxicating aroma. The merchants call out to you, offering you samples, trying to lure you into their shops. It's chaotic, it's loud, and it's wonderful. This is where the city's pulse feels the most real. Across the creek in Bur Dubai, you can wander through the Al Fahidi historical neighborhood, also known as Bastakia. Here, the old buildings have been beautifully restored. You can walk through narrow, shaded alleyways, past traditional courtyard houses made of coral and gypsum. Many of these have been converted into art galleries, cafes, and small museums. The iconic wind towers, an early form of air conditioning that funneled breezes down into the houses, stand against the blue sky. This is where you find the quiet soul of Dubai. It's a reminder that beneath all the futuristic gloss, there is a real history, a real culture, that is still very much alive. Dubai is, honestly, one of the most cosmopolitan cities on Earth, but, it's not a melting pot in the traditional sense. It's actually more like a mosaic. People come from every corner of the globe, but they often retain their distinct cultural identities. Only about 15% of the population are Emirati citizens. The other 85%? They're expatriates. They are the Indian taxi drivers, the Filipino nannies, the British financiers, the Pakistani construction workers, the Egyptian engineers. This city literally could not function without them. It was built by foreign hands, and it is run by foreign hands. This creates a unique social structure. There are clear, often unspoken hierarchies. You have the ultra-wealthy, both Emirati and foreign, living lives of unimaginable luxury. You have the Western and Arab professionals, living comfortable lives in spacious villas and apartments. And then you have the vast workforce of laborers from South and Southeast Asia. They are the city's invisible engine. They live in labor camps on the outskirts of the city, working long hours in the brutal heat to build the ever-expanding skyline. Their experience of Dubai is vastly different from that of the tourist or the white-collar expat. Despite the social stratification, there is a surprising level of harmony. The city runs on a foundation of tolerance and respect. It really has to. With over 200 nationalities living side by side, it's a necessity for social stability. You hear a dozen different languages just walking through a mall. You see people in traditional abayas and kanduras walking next to people in shorts and t-shirts. The government enforces strict laws that promote public order and mutual respect, which helps keep the peace. It's a delicate balance, a social experiment on a massive scale. The Emirati culture, while representing a minority of the population, is the bedrock of the city's identity. The government makes a concerted effort to preserve and promote it. You see it in the architecture, the emphasis on Islamic traditions, and the official language. The Emiratis themselves are often a quiet presence in their own city, but their influence is everywhere. Their traditions of hospitality and generosity are a key part of the city's character. Understanding Dubai means understanding this dynamic. A small local population hosting the entire world, trying to balance their own heritage with the demands of being a global metropolis. Everyone thinks Dubai was built on oil. It's a common misconception. Yes, the discovery of oil in the 1960s was the spark that lit the fuse. It provided the initial seed capital for the city's transformation. It allowed the rulers to start dreaming big, to build the first roads, the first port, the first airport. It gave them the means to begin their audacious project. But the leaders of Dubai, particularly the late Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, were incredibly shrewd. They knew the oil wouldn't last forever. They saw it not as a permanent source of wealth, but as a temporary tool. The real genius of Dubai's economic model was diversification. They took the oil money and invested it in things that would last. They poured it into infrastructure. They built the Jebel Ali port, one of the largest and busiest container ports in the world. They established free trade zones to attract international companies with the promise of no taxes. They turned the city into a global hub for logistics, finance, and trade. They were thinking about a post-oil future long before it was fashionable. Today, oil accounts for less than 1% of Dubai's GDP. The city's economy now stands on the pillars they built decades ago. Tourism is the most visible part of this strategy. Dubai has branded itself as the ultimate tourist destination, a place that has something for everyone, as long as you have the money. They built the world's most luxurious hotels, the biggest malls, the most incredible attractions. They created a safe, clean, and efficient environment that appeals to travelers from all over the world. They host major international sporting events, concerts, and conferences. The airport, DXB, is one of the busiest on the planet, a massive transit hub connecting every continent. Tourism is not just an industry here, it's the city's lifeblood. The final piece of the puzzle is real estate. The city's growth is fueled by a constantly churning property market. Building new, ever more spectacular projects creates investment opportunities and attracts foreign capital. It's a cycle. Build something incredible, attract people and money. Use that money to build something even more incredible. This relentless development is what keeps the economic engine running at full throttle. It's a high-stakes game that depends on perpetual growth and global confidence. So far, it's a bet that has paid off handsomely, turning a patch of desert into one of the world's most dynamic economic centers. There are things about Dubai that you just don't expect. For one, there's no crime. I mean, virtually none. You can leave your wallet on a cafe table and it will be there when you get back. You can leave your car unlocked. It's one of the safest cities in the world. This isn't because people are naturally more virtuous here. It's because the consequences are severe. The surveillance is ubiquitous. There are cameras everywhere. For the vast expatriate population, committing a crime doesn't just mean jail time. It means immediate deportation. It's a powerful deterrent that creates a bubble of safety, which is a key part of the city's appeal. Another surprise is the police fleet. You're driving down Sheikh Zayed Road, and suddenly a Bugatti Veyron with police lights flashes past. Or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. The Dubai police have a fleet of supercars that would make a billionaire jealous. It seems ridiculous, a pure marketing stunt. And it is, partly. It's about projecting an image of class, wealth, and modernity. But it also serves a practical purpose in a city where many residents drive high-performance cars. If you need to chase someone in a McLaren, it helps to have something that can keep up. It's both a PR move and a very Dubai solution to a problem. Here's a fact about the architecture that's easy to miss. The Burj Khalifa is so tall that you can watch the sunset twice in one day. You can watch it from the ground level, and then take the super-fast elevator up to the observation deck and watch it set all over again. The difference in altitude is enough to give you a few extra minutes of daylight. It's a strange, almost poetic quirk of physics and engineering. It also has real-world implications. During Ramadan, residents living on the highest floors have to wait a few minutes longer to break their fast than those on the ground because the sun is still visible from their vantage point. Finally, there's the issue of addresses, or the lack thereof. For a long time, Dubai didn't have a standard address system with street names and numbers like most cities. If you wanted to send a package or have a pizza delivered, you had to give descriptive directions. It's the third villa after the mosque, the one with the blue gate. It was a chaotic but somehow functional system. In recent years, they've implemented a more formal system with street names and Makani numbers, a unique 10-digit code for every building entrance. But for many longtime residents, the old way of navigating by landmarks is still ingrained in their minds. It's a relic from a time when the city was smaller and more intimate. You can eat very, very well in Dubai. You can eat food cooked by celebrity chefs with more Michelin stars than you can count. You can have Japanese, French, Italian, Peruvian, any cuisine you can imagine, prepared to the highest possible standard. The top-end restaurants in the hotels and financial district are temples of gastronomy. They import the best ingredients from all over the world. Wagyu beef from Japan, oysters from France, truffles from Italy. They cater to a global elite with deep pockets and discerning palates. If you want to spend $1,000 on dinner, Dubai is more than happy to help you do that. But for me, that's not the most interesting food in the city. The real culinary soul of Dubai is found in the cheap and cheerful cafeterias of the older neighborhoods like Satwa and Deira. These are the places that feed the city's working class. Here, for just a few dirhams, you can get incredible food from India, Pakistan, and the Philippines. You can get a fragrant biryani, a spicy Goan fish curry, or a rich beef adobo. My personal favorite is the shawarma. A good shawarma stand is a thing of beauty. Juicy, marinated chicken or lamb, shaved off a rotating spit, stuffed into a warm pita with garlic sauce, pickles, and maybe some French fries. It's the perfect street food. The city's food scene is a direct reflection of its demographics. The huge South Asian population means you can find some of the best Indian and Pakistani food outside of the subcontinent. Every neighborhood has its go-to spot for karak chai, a strong, milky tea boiled with cardamom and sugar. It's the city's unofficial fuel. You see people from all walks of life pulling over to grab a cup. You can also explore the rich flavors of Middle Eastern cuisine. Delicious grilled meats, creamy hummus, fresh tabbouleh, and savory manakish, a type of flatbread topped with cheese or za'atar. One of the best ways to experience this is at the Friday brunches. This is a Dubai institution. It's an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink marathon that lasts for hours. The hotels try to outdo each other with extravagant spreads that feature everything from sushi and seafood bars to roast dinners and dessert rooms. It's a spectacle of excess, a celebration of the weekend. But it's also a place where the city's diverse expat communities come together to socialize. It's a window into the lifestyle of a certain segment of Dubai society. Whether you're eating at a five-star brunch or a hole-in-the-wall cafeteria, you're tasting a piece of Dubai's global identity. Dubai is not a city that rests on its laurels. It is in a perpetual state of becoming. The moment one mega project is finished, the plans for the next, even more ambitious one, are already being unveiled. The city's leadership is obsessed with the future. They have a vision for 2040, for 2071. They are not just planning for the next few years, they are trying to architect the next century. This forward-looking mindset is perhaps the most defining characteristic of Dubai. It's a place that is constantly asking, what's next, and then trying to build it before anyone else. The next chapter involves pushing the boundaries of technology and sustainability. They are investing heavily in artificial intelligence, robotics, and blockchain. They have a stated goal of making 25% of all journeys in the city autonomous by 2030, with flying taxis and driverless metros. They are building entire new districts focused on innovation and design. At the same time, there's a growing awareness of the environmental challenges of living in the desert. They are building massive solar power plants, investing in water desalination technology, and promoting green building standards. The paradox is trying to be both the city of excess and a model of sustainability. Projects like the Museum of the Future, an incredible torus-shaped building covered in Arabic calligraphy, are not just tourist attractions. They are statements of intent. The museum doesn't contain artifacts from the past. It's an incubator for the ideas and technologies that will shape the future. It's a place where innovators and thinkers are brought together to solve global challenges. This is how Dubai sees its role on the world stage, not just as a hub for trade and tourism, but as a hub for human progress. A living laboratory for the cities of tomorrow. Of course there are risks. This relentless pursuit of growth is a high-wire act. It's dependent on a stable global economy, regional peace, and the continued flow of foreign talent and capital. The city is a marvel of engineering and vision, but it's also a fragile ecosystem. But if there's one thing Dubai has proven, it's that you shouldn't bet against it. It's a city that has consistently defied expectations, that has turned sand into gold, and that has built a global crossroads in one of the world's most inhospitable environments. Whatever the future holds, you can be sure that Dubai will be there, trying to build it first.